Hey everybody, welcome back. Devin, the OG original Grognard, back in the Grognard's Corner. Actually, I think today this could probably be the original sports Grognard, sports. I don't know what to call it. As many of you who follow the channel for a while know, I enjoy sports games. I have enjoyed sports games since I started getting into wargaming. To me, the two genres are so closely linked that I don't see why there isn't more wargamers that are into sports gaming and sports gamers that are into wargaming. They're all about choices, decisions, stats, numbers, rolling dice, making decisions, making choices. It just boggles my mind that there are not a greater cross-reference between the two genres. There is some, but as I said, it's more surprising to me that there are not more. And today we're actually going to be looking. I'm getting back into second season football from Play.com. Keith Avalon's fabulous creation for pro football, and I did a little bit last year. With the 2017 Hypothetical League, the American Sports League, and I was playing as Oklahoma City, Go Cattle Barons, and WTOG, the official news and information station of the Oklahoma City Cattle Barons. But there were a few issues I ran into it, and so I didn't do as much videos on it as I had planned. So I love hypothetical situations when it comes to sports games. I like being able to have, fresh, not really preconceived teams or players, or, if I'm doing baseball, let me build my own team. I was huge into fantasy football for years. When I built my own, you could draft your own team and, just go from there with the fantasy football genre. So, yes, second season has a huge number of historical seasons. I will admit probably the one historical season I do want to get my hands on is the 77, or is it 78? One of those two. The first year Broncos went to the Super Bowl. I was living in Denver at the time, huge Broncos fan. Of course, anybody who knows or remembers sports knows Denver got their ass handed to them by the Dallas Cowboys, which, all right, okay, I'm cool with that. Dallas was America's team at the time, so, I get that. But still, that's probably one of the historical seasons I may get. But I do love the hypothetical stuff. And so with the Americana League, I started playing it a little bit last year, and I got it, and it's I think it's 12 teams in 3 different divisions. It's not as big as an actual NFL league. And so I was going over and I was trying to figure out, okay, who do I want to play? Well, all right, I live in Seattle. I guess I should give, a Seattle team some love. But the closest team to Seattle that they had was Portland. Well, Portland can go fuck themselves, so I'm not going to play Portland. I don't like Portland. I don't know if it's because of rivalry, because I live in Seattle or whatnot. I just don't like Portland, so we're not going to be playing Portland. So I was like, all right, well, I fall back on my real team, the real team that I'm a fan of, Denver. Well, there's no Denver team in the fictional league, but there is Oklahoma City. It's like, all right, I can go with Oklahoma City. I'm fine with Oklahoma City. My mom was born in Oklahoma. So we went with Oklahoma City, and the great thing is they give you the cities where the teams are from, but Keith lets us have carte blanche and make up our own histories for them. So I went with Oklahoma Cattle Barons because Oklahoma City was a huge railhead for the cattle industry, so it just made sense to go with the Oklahoma City Cattle Barons. And the stadium, I called it Besco Insurance Stadium, but everybody still just refers to it as the stockyards because it's built on some of the old stockyards from the 1800s. So I kind of being a role player as well, I kind of went a little bit hog wild with the history set up behind Oklahoma. So, but anyway, so the new season, this great little package I'm holding in my hands, the 2018 Americana season was released. I managed to order it, and it finally came in today. So I was thinking, I kind of want to go over. It's been a while since I've done a sports video, which I'm sure my sports fans are kind of lamenting because a lot of my sports fans come here for my sports games, not so much of my war games, and it's been a while since I've done a sports game. So this is some love for my sports game fanatics out there. Al, Red Sox fan. Scott D, I think he's still around. Eric, a few other guys that that really come to my channel for my sports games. So here we are getting back into it. And so I was thinking, well, I want to go kind of a comparison with last year's Oklahoma and this year's Oklahoma, some kind of ideas of what I'm going to do this year for playing out the 2018 season. And I was sitting here and I was getting ready to take a picture. It's like, I really need to start recording some of this. And then I figure, you know what? I'm basically doing an unboxing. I don't think I've seen very many unboxings for sports games. I know they're out there. I've seen them, but I think this is probably one of the first times we're going to see an actual unboxing for a Play.com fictional league. So yes, I find that amusing. Don't judge me. So anyways, got this in this morning. It was $19 for the entire season's 2018 hypothetical league. I could have gotten it as a PDF for $12, but I kind of like real physical hard copies to hang on to. Even though I'm probably going to scan these so I can print out the cards as needed for when I'm playing the games. Those of you who saw the couple games that I did do last year for the 2017 season remember probably how I kind of printed out the defensive sides and how I had to set up. And I'll get into that probably when I start doing recording for the sports games again. But yeah, so, it does it seem a little bit expensive? $19? Well, it's 12 teams. Plus, there's some extra sheets in here that we'll get to when we start doing the unboxing for it. I'm perfectly okay with spending $19. I think regular historical NFL seasons are a little bit more expensive just because there's more teams and thus more printing that needs to be done. But honestly, at the end of the day, Keith pays shipping and handling. So, I'm perfectly fine with, the $19 that I paid for that, because that includes shipping and he does that with all his games. Anything you order, his box sets, like say we have second season here, or History Maker Baseball, History Maker Golf, what have you, red, white, and blue stock card, or NASCAR racing. All the box sets are $40, but that includes shipping and handling, which really in today's society for 2 days shipping and handling, you're paying it's $13.50 now. So really, when you get down to it, his box sets are $27 plus the 13 shipping and handling, 14 shipping and handling. So you're really not paying that much for really good quality, fast playing sports games. Anyways, pontificated and bloviated long enough. Let me go ahead and get into the actual unboxing of this so we can see what's in here. And I have my handy dandy Swiss Army knife, because my regular knife, my cool knife, my train knife, I kind of lost a couple of screws for, and it's up at my folks', and we're working on trying to find replacement screws for it. So I have to reduce to using my Swiss Army knife. Here we go. Let's open this up. All right. Pull it out with hopefully. Okay. And Keith's cover letter that he sends with pretty much everything. Every time I've ever received anything from Keith, gotten this cover letter, basically goes over. Hello, Devin. Here's your copy of the 2008, and I'm not trying to impersonate Keith, so this is just me being me, so don't think that I'm trying to impersonate Keith. Here's your copy of the 2018 Football American Team cards for second season pro football game. Thanks for this purchase. Please use care when separating the cards. I found it works best to fold along the perforated lines first and separate them into cards. I'm glad you're enjoying the game. Please let me know if there's anything you can do to help. Sincerely, Keith, and that is actually his signature. That's not, maybe. Yeah, that's his signature. Keith Avalone, Play Games, Play.com. And Keith is wonderful. He's probably one of the better when it comes to community relations. If his and my interaction is any indication, he spends a large chunk of his day answering emails and conversing with his customers, and so I hate to bother him because I have a feeling he's as busy enough as it is, so I don't like to pester him too often. But yeah, he and I probably just got done with, I don't know, 10 emails back and forth to each other over a couple 3-day period. I was asking him some questions about second season in the American League. But yeah, he just takes the time out to answer. And I'm fairly certain he does that with all email correspondence. He goes, no, that doesn't mean you can bug him all the time. I just got done saying he was probably very busy. But he does take the time if there are questions to be asked. So anyways, and you always have with the second season, here you've got the let's see if I can kind of show this real quick. Here's the instant results table and fringe players. So in case you want to try to do any free players or freelance rookies or any type of trades or anything like that. Here there's a bunch of players that you can bring into your leagues. But this is really cool chart. So instead of having to play out the entire season, each player or each team individually, you just go with, all right, let's see, this week it's Chicago against New York. And so you have a breakdown of numbers, 2d6s, and you just do a quick dice roll. And Keith has figured it all out with their team ratings and everything. This is just a kind of a quick response. Chicago at New York, you roll 2d6. If the dice falls, reading it as 10s and 1s, so a 1 pip will be the 10s column, and a 4 pip on the second dice would be a 4, would be a 14. So right here it gives you a dice range 11 to 53 for Chicago versus New York, and basically if you roll the dice, whoever's the home team will end up winning that game. So you kind of got a good idea. Chicago has a really good chance to just bury the hell out of New York, so that's always kind of cool. So you can kind of fast track through all the other teams if you don't feel like playing the entire season, which is kind of a good thing because second season can kind of take a little bit of a while to get through. And then you've got he includes the 2018 football schedule. So you got week 1 Memphis at San Antonio, Chicago at Detroit, Golden Bay at Orlando, Portland at Philadelphia. Ooh, St. Louis. I didn't get to play St. Louis last year. St. Louis at OKC, and then the Monday Night Football, the premier. The game of the week was going to be New York at San Diego, and he has it for all 14 weeks, and then you break down into the playoffs, and then the well, I don't want to call it Super Bowl because it's not the Super Bowl, but the finals. The finals. Finals is more basketball, baseball. The World Championship American League, yes, the game. So. It's really cool. So he's broken it all down. You know who's going to be playing against who. You don't have to worry about doing it yourself. And this kind of gets into kind of an idea. One of the guys on the Play.com Discord channel, which I'm part of, I asked him how he was going to be doing his American League, and he said he was going to be taking one team and playing it through. Oh God, I forgot who he was going to do. Golden Bay? Oh, no. Yeah, Golden Bay. He was going to be taking Golden Bay. I think he was going to be taking Golden Bay. And so he was going to play through each of the games with Golden Bay, but he was also each week going to do the highlight, the Monday Night Football game, or Sunday afternoon special, whichever one. And I thought that was a really cool way to do it, because not only will that just give me a chance to really play with my team, Oklahoma City, and play through their entire season, but playing the Monday night game also will give me a chance to play with the other teams with matchups that, well, isn't exactly just Oklahoma City. So when I start playing, I'll be doing St. Louis at Oklahoma City, but then I'll also be playing New York at San Diego. Now, I am going to be changing how I do my play calling a little bit. Last year, when I was doing this, it was taking me 4.5 hours to get a game done. Impractical to actually record that. So I've been trying to find ways to cut that down. One of the biggest things that was killing me was my call playing, and I was going with full whistles and bells. I was tracking stats. I was tracking, fatigue for my players. It just drug the game down. Now, fortunately, Al Wilson has just recently come out with a fast action card deck, so you're flipping cards instead of rolling dice, and that has play calls on it, and there's really a bunch of cool whistles and bells to it. And he's working on releasing 1.1, which should be out within the next couple days. I'm probably going to be using that. I am going to be calling my own plays for Oklahoma City as I play through the games. but pretty much dicing everything else. And when I get to doing the Monday night, the highlight games, I will probably just dice that completely, offense and defense. Now, for those of you who are into second season, you understand what it means by specifically what it means by play calling and dicing. Everybody else, I'm sure you got a pretty good idea. Play calling is I call the exact plays. It's like, all right, third and 4, I'm going to do an outside run with Bowman. And then, dice off for roll for what the defense call is play. Whereas with dicing, it's just I dice it and just whatever the random plays show up with. So hopefully that'll cut down my play time. I probably am not going to record every game. I may record a quarter. It all depends on how fast I can get it done and how well I can get Al Wilson's play deck working for me. So anyways, okay, also now what we have is some previews from the different teams, what their grades are, what their strengths, their weaknesses, key players, top rookies, free agent signings, and comments. And this is a really cool bit of historical background that goes along with it. And is, instead of being double-sided, so you got 2 sheets for all the teams. So let's take a look at Oklahoma City. They're rated at a C, which is fine. I chose them last year because of that. Strengths: running back youth and toughness on defense. Well, it doesn't really go with what I found last year, but this is this year's. Weaknesses: under-talented offensive line. Yes. Lack of quarterback sizzle. Yes. The quarterback they had last year was mediocre, not the greatest, not the worst, but he could have grown into things. And then key players: running back Malik Garner. Yeah, Malik, I think given some time, he can definitely develop into a really good running back. Top rookies, got a new kicker, so I'm going to have to take a look at the stats. And this kind of surprised me. Free agent signings. We got a new quarterback. Like I said, I didn't have too much of an issue with the quarterback we had last year, but I'm going to have to take a look at his stats and compare him to the last year's quarterback to see. And then just some comments. Williamson picked up off the scrap heap after being released by New Jersey and San Diego. Can he get his career back on top of the new club? Last year's top pick, Ryan Boehner, is a backup plan at quarterback. Garner is powerful, fast, and durable at running back. I can attest to that. Lofton adds strength as wide receiver. Playmakers on defense could keep club in playoffs hot. So yeah, it's we're pretty good on defense. Our offense is kind of weak, and I'm trying to develop Oklahoma City as a running game, again kind of mimicking Denver Broncos when Elway was quarterback. The problem with developing a really good strong running game is you need a decent wide receiver to pick up those plays when your running game doesn't do real. And Denver had that. Denver had that in Terrell Davis. So I don't know. And the random, or not the random, the play call generator that you use for the quote unquote opponent, they always seem to shut down my offense when I'm doing a run offense anyway. So we're gonna have to see how that's gonna work out. So anyways, but now here we have all the cards for the different teams, and they are perforated, as you can kind of see. You can go ahead. So in each card, anybody who plays second season knows this, you got offense on one side, and then you got defense on the other side. You got all the different teams. And so basically, you just, when you're on offense, you have the offense card up. When you're on defense, you have the defense card up. And I don't have all my accoutrements here, so I can't really show how I do it. But let's go ahead and see if we can find my Oklahoma City. There's my Oklahoma City. Now let's compare it with last year. Let's take a real quick look and take a look at last year's Oklahoma City. Here we go. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, so 2018, 2017. Okay, so last year, Malik Garner is given an outside grade of A for the first 4 carries. Malik Garner was one of our prime. Oh, shoot myself. Where is Malik? Ah, well. And then Derek Dussault was given an outside rating of AA for the first 3 carries. Rookies probably weren't as experienced as they could have been, which is why they kind of had an outside rating of A for the first few carries and then kind of petered out as the game went on. This year, Oklahoma City's offense special rules, Ryan Boehner may run 3 times per half. Let's see, where's Ryan Boehner? Okay, he's our backup quarterback. He was last year's backup quarterback as well. Let's see. He has increased. He was from a +0. Oh, he actually degraded a little bit. Okay, and his completions, he was an A completion, went down to a C, but his yardage gain, he picked up a bunch of yards for X and Y, and again, if you play second season, he kind of lost it on X, but he picked up huge with Y and picked up a good for Q's, and then remained a quadruple A for outside runs. Although he's kind of got that little asterisk there. And again, Ryan Boehner can carry 3 times. Can carry 3 times per half. Tyrone Cadet, he's back from again last year. Where was Tyrone? He was fullback. Outside rating of AAA for the first 2 carries. Let's see. Tyrone. Oh, they moved Tyrone from fullback to safety. B, C. Yeah, his running average went up, and he increased it, or his outside run kind of looks like he fell a little bit on, and he actually got a little bit worse on the pass. He went from a 1-1 to a 1-0. Whoops. Not even it went from a 1-1 to a 1-0. All right, so that's probably not good. Let's see, what else do we have? Izzy Nanfabu was getting an inside grade of AAA for the first 4 carries. Now, he's a new player. I don't remember him from last season. And where is he? He's a backup safety back. Yeah, his stats are not real good. C on the inside, E on the outside, so you don't want to have him doing outside. And only 4 yards average pickup. Not good. So probably won't be using him too much. And Mark Coons is back. Mark Coons is rated 0-2 versus a run defense. So let's see, where was Mark Coons? Mark Coons, last year's safety back. Or tight end wide receiver. Not safety back. Tight end wide receiver. I was looking at the SB, not the actual position. Let's see, it was 0-2. Let's see, where's Mark Coons this year? They moved him to tight end instead of a running back. His stats increased. At least on the run. They changed him more from a running back, fullback, to a receiver, to a wide receiver. But he's got 12 yards average gain. That's better than his run yards of 4 from last year. All right, so let's take a look at the quarterbacks. That's the ones I'm really, really interested in. So we got Colt McCowan. He was last year's completion of A, which is pretty good. Kind of low on his X and Y running yards. Q, 12 yards. That's not bad average. But then we've got Wally Williamson this year. He's got that star next to him. I can't remember what's that star. It's that star. That's 4th quarter with your within 2 goals. You get a little bonus. I'm gonna have to check what that is. He's a little bit better running. His passing is worse. And his outside run is only a AA, which was what Colt McCowan had last year with the AA. So, I mean, Colt McCowan was a 0+ on pass, 1 on run, and Williamson is a 1-1. So, yeah, Williamson's a better quarterback as far as being able to complete the plays, and a little bit better on the run, but not as good of a passer. So that's going to be interesting to look at. And here I am. I still don't have the cards centered. Running in the 25-minute mark. Let me go ahead and pop right. All right, let's take a look. We got a new place kicker. Looks like we lost Seth Vogt and picked up Job Busereth. Okay, yeah, Job's got a better kickoff. His extra point is not as good. Field goals are the same. And his yardage is actually better. Okay, so we got a better kicker this time, so that's probably a good thing. Let's just take a quick look at wide receivers. Looks like we lost Sammy Holcomb, which is too bad because Sammy had great yardage. Really great yardage. But his stats weren't that good. Kellen Buell, see, I don't know if I'd rather have the stats. I think I'd rather have the yardage. I think I would have liked to have kept Sammy Holcomb. Jesus, almost our entire wide receivers were changed out. Austin Holscher last year, but we got Will Rule this year for runs. And he's not as good as Austin was last year. I don't know why they made that trade. Fullbacks, Darren Howard. Yeah, Malik Gardner definitely got moved up. Malik Gardner was a reserve running back, but they've moved him to wide. Yeah, and you guys still got. Oh, he's actually changed some of the position. No, I guess not. Anyways, so anyways, that's offense. Let's take a quick look at defense. Not really too worried about the defense teams. I don't remember that much from last year when I was playing them. I do remember, let's see, our returns. Yeah, we still got Dassault for returns. His kick return average was 21 yards last season, but it's bumped up to 28 this season, so that's good. Rondell Campbell, he looks like he actually he gained a yard average. Tyrone Cadet, yeah, we remember him from last year, but he went from a 20 to a 24, so he increased. Okay. And it looks like Quay Duhan, he's a new pickup. We didn't have him last year. Let's see. Centrell Jury was a cornerback. Now they've got him, or was a full safety, and they've got him as a cornerback this time, but his stats went up. He's good for the run defense. I think been a couple weeks or a couple months since I played, so I can't remember if the first number is their run defense or the second number is their run. I think the first one's run, second one's pass. I could be wrong though. And I'm sure the people out there are playing seconds saying, "You idiot! It's whatever it's supposed to be." Let's see. Rondell Campbell is still in full safety. LaShawn Hill got bumped up to. And David Young got promoted, and LaShawn Hill got bumped back down. So Robbie Bush is still cornerback. Eric Stonebreaker, I remember Stonebreaker because there were a couple times last season when he had a couple big plays that I had to mark him down for doing the big plays. And he's gotten a little bit better in the pinch in fourth quarter, so that's good. Jeremy Wallace, he's increased a little bit. Dennis Redfield kind of stayed the same. So pretty much the defensive line has pretty much stayed the same. Dwayne Pugh took over was replaced by Parker Roy. But yeah, pretty much everybody else is still the same. So defense looks. What's the special rules for defense? Let's see. Last year, Daryl Dassault scores touchdown on any kickoff return over 40 yards, and Daryl Dassault still has that special rule, so that's good. Dennis Redfield is rated 0-1 in pass defense, and he's still rated 0-1 in pass defense. All right, so not really any change on the defensive side of things, but definitely looks like the offensive side got changed up a little bit. It looks like their actual stat abilities got a little bit better, whereas their actual yard gainage kind of dropped some. And I'm still not real happy with the kickoff game or the kicker either, but we'll have to see how that plays out. So yeah, I've kind of been rambling here. And again, for my Wargaming fans, if you've listened this far, mad props to you. I'm sure some of my sports guys are gonna yell at me for making mistakes and positional mistakes and stuff like that. But anyway, so that's all the teams for the 2018. Got New York, Oklahoma, Orlando, San Antonio, Chicago, Detroit, Golden Bay, Memphis, Portland, Philadelphia, St. Louis, San Diego. Those are all the teams. It's 2018 American League, Hypothetical League 4. Second season games. Or second, what is it? What's the actual? Just second season. Football game from play.com. Keith Avalone. Go check it out. PLAY.com. Questions, comments, concerns, complaints, criticisms in the comment section. I'll see everybody next time. See ya!